Massive news this week as the Dutch superstar Frenkie De Jong has been linked with Bayern Munich. Let's get right into it. Welcome to Talking Bayern, the one-stop shop for Bayern Munich content on YouTube. Today we'll be discussing the rumor of Frenkie De Jong coming to Bayern Munich potentially in the next transfer window or in this next summer. So just some background on Frenkie if you don't know him very well. He is a Ajax talent. He was brilliant in the Champions League run with Ajax. They almost made it the Champions League final, I'm sure, a couple years ago. I'm sure you all remember an incredible run. Obviously, it was unfortunately ended by Tottenham and Lucas Moura with some devastating, late goals to prevent them from going to the Champions League finals. But still, brilliant run. And he's been one of Barcelona's standout stars over the last 2 years. He's quite the resume, but still he's only at the age of just 24 years old, and he has the potential to become, honestly, probably our best midfielder in years to come. So these reports are coming from El Nacional that talks are being held between Bayern and Barcelona over Frenkie De Jong, and we're expecting talks to resume in December and potentially advance and see where things go. Why do I like this transfer? Because he's a great young talent. He's obviously a very well-rounded, all-around midfielder. Exactly the type of player we're looking for in our midfield. I'm sure you can see, Kimmich and Goretzka and even Tolisso very well-rounded in their game. There's not too many attributes that they're lacking, and they're just a really well all-rounded game. Obviously, we play a very specific type of game in football at Bayern, and obviously we need those kind of players in our midfield. So he matches that profile very well, very similar to a mix between Goretzka and Kimmich. Obviously not perfectly, but he matches that portfolio very well. So how much would he cost? So he's currently valued at 99 million USD or 85 million euros. And I think it would cost at least 70 million euros. Barcelona is looking to cash in due to their debt. Obviously, a lot of financial problems in Barcelona. And so I think we would get him for a bit of a discount. Obviously, probably not 85 million euros or more, because sometimes you have to pay more than their market value, actually. I don't see that happening. I see us paying less than his value, but still quite the high cost. And Barcelona bought Frenkie De Jong for 81.5 million euros in 2019. So, this is going to come at a quite a big cost. And judging how good of a player, this he is, I doubt Barcelona would be willing to take a large loss. They're not going to want to say, take 50 for him. Obviously, 50 million is still a lot of money they'd love to have, but you're not going to take that much of a loss for a player who's still really good, has great potential, and should be a very good player in years to come. So where would he play at Bayern? This is a pretty simple answer because he would be playing at the central mid or CDM role. I don't think he would change apart from that. He's only really ever played CM or CDM in his career. Unfortunately, he's not a very versatile player. We love to have a player like that. Like Kimmich obviously can play right back and center mid. Eli Rassane can play on both wings or cam. But Frenkie's not really a player like that. Obviously, he can play pretty much anywhere in the midfield except for cam. And, he does a really good job where he does, but unfortunately, he does lack that versatility. But you can pretty much expect a 100% lock that he will play in center mid or CDM for Bayern. An important question to ask ourselves, is he really better than what we already have? Well, not really. While he meets the standard, he doesn't elevate our midfield by much. Obviously, I'm saying this with caution because I really do love Frenkie De Jong. I think he's a world-class player, but I don't think he elevates what we already have by much. I think it would be quite the luxury and quite a, something awesome to have to allow more rotation in between our midfielders and give Goretzka and Kimmich more time on the bench. Obviously, we've been working them like crazy. They deserve some time on the bench, just lose some more minutes. Obviously, they're class players and they obviously should be on the pitch as much as possible, but we do need to rest them and make sure, they're not going to get injured and, tearing something just because of, muscle strain. He is really good. He's only 24, so he'd be one of our youngest midfielders and definitely has the potential to exceed our midfield, but right now I don't think he's a, substantial improvement on what we already have. And really, you never know what you're going to get. Obviously, he plays in a different league. So maybe at Bayern, if he did come in the squad, he would be worse than what we already have. We don't really know. It's hard to tell. Obviously, we can just watch and scout as much as possible, but you don't really know until he's in the team whether he would improve the team or not. Right now, I'm not certain that he would. The next question is, do we have the money? Well, yes. According to reports and statements, we certainly have the money to make this acquisition. Obviously, we've been very cautious in the last few transfer windows of spending money, and we're doing very, very well. Obviously, lots of money coming into the team right now with just brands and deals. Just obviously, we're a very world-class, recognized brand right now, and that's very, very important, especially for growing our team worldwide. However, Bayern are very hesitant in making big signings, and this signing could potentially be our biggest signing ever, so I do expect us to exert strong caution here. Another very important question is, would we be able to sign other players we want if we bought him? And the answer, unfortunately, here is no, not really. I think this would really swell our budget for the next couple of windows and make, signing some players we want a really big problem in the next coming windows. I know I spoke about Adeyemi and Florian Wirtz as two players I would really love to see come into our team, especially Florian Wirtz. And the amount we're going to have to pay for Florian Wirtz, I don't see us dishing out that kind of money if we're going to sign Frenkie De Jong now. So I don't really see this happening, honestly, if we want to sign those players. And it depends where we want to prioritize of who we want. Obviously, Frenkie De Jong would be a very good player to have, but I don't see us making the aspirations we want to if we do sign Frenkie De Jong in future transfer windows. Barcelona apparently is not happy with Frenkie De Jong, and also Frenkie De Jong is reportedly pretty disappointed as well. Obviously, his aspirations have been much higher than Barcelona's current success. Obviously, Barcelona has not been getting the silverware they usually do in recent years, and obviously, Messi leaving is no doubt going to hurt that even more. So it's going to be tough for Barcelona the next few years, and Frenkie was probably coming to Barcelona expecting big things. Obviously, Suarez was there, Messi was there. He expected big things of coming to this team, and unfortunately, things haven't turned out really for Barcelona since he arrived. They've kind of flipped the switch and gone downhill since he has arrived. So it's going to be interesting to see what he does in Barcelona, because really I'd be probably on the same page as him. If I go to a team and they're not doing as well as I expected, I'll be disappointed. I want to win Champions Leagues. I want to win league titles almost every year. So he's not getting that. He certainly would get that at Bayern, so I can totally see why he'd want to come to a team like this. He's also heavily linked in with Man City, so obviously there are those title aspirations. He clearly wants to win, and that could be a big factor in why he would come to Bayern. So, in conclusion, I love Frenkie, but we already have a world-class starting midfield, and honestly, I would rather buy a few, 25 to 30 million euro players at this point with great potential, and then rather than buy a certified superstar. Obviously, Frenkie De Jong is a class player. No one is stating otherwise. I would really love him if we could just snap my fingers and have him, but that's not the case. It's going to cost a lot of money. Well, to see what kind of discount Barcelona would be willing to offer for this player. I love Frenkie De Jong, but I find it really hard to believe that we would dish out 85 million euros for a midfielder right now, considering how good our midfield is right now. Those are just my thoughts. I'm really interested to see what does happen over the next few months. Apparently, talks are going to be happening again in December when Barcelona and Bayern play each other. But I'll keep everybody in the loop on what happens in this situation. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like and a comment. And if you want to see more Bayern Munich content like this in the future, make sure to subscribe to this channel. I hope to see you all in the next one. Until then, mia se mia.